Hello and welcome to tedyCINEMAsaloon presents AaryanTalks. I'm your Aryan, the world's best audience. And today what we have is very special. We have someone from the eastern region of India. The next big thing, as Prabhas puts it, an Odia actor here. And he's here to talk about his film, Phalguna Chaitra, which is already creating havoc and it is getting released in overseas as well. Probably this is the first Odia film ever to release in overseas. So I hope you're enjoying the success, Partha. Welcome to our show, first of all.
Thank you so much, Aryan, and thank you so much, Sid. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
About regarding the success, the film is yet to release, but the kind of love and the kind of response and the hype it has been creating, it's overwhelming. I mean, our hard work of a year and the kind of limited resources that we work in Odia industry. Within that, I have been seeing this dream for it has been a long pending dream. I have been dreaming about Odia cinema going outside Odisha and outside India for almost 9 years now. I've been running with project reports to different people. But fortunately, finally, we met a person, a producer. I can call him a producer. He's not a financer because generally in Odisha, we have financers. They're not producers. Very few producers are there. So this guy, our mentality matched. He's another sucker for cinema. And he has gone all out. I mean, I would love to say that we need young producers like him in places like Odisha, where it's very difficult to do something new or do something creative and tell a new pattern of story, have a new pattern of storytelling. So he also had similar dreams, and together with our hard work and everybody's the entire team's efforts, my first step, the first step towards my dream is getting fulfilled. This film, Odia film, is releasing outside India for the first time commercially. I mean, there has been private screenings, but not commercially. Anything has been released in Australia, Malaysia, Germany, UK. These 4 countries, it's already confirmed, and there are a few more countries which will be confirmed by tomorrow evening. So I'm really excited. Outside Odisha, it's releasing in Bangalore, Mumbai, Chennai, and Hyderabad.
Super.
So it has been a long pending dream that we should also do good like other regional industries are doing. If you see Tamil industry, Malayali industry, the Telugu, Kannada, Marathi industry, they have a name and respect at the national level. I also wanted the same for Odia cinema. So this is I would say the first proper concrete step towards expansion of Odia film market, and I'm really happy.
Super, Partha. So even we are happy because there has been a bunch of talk. I mean, not much noise come from that area of India. So we are happy to see you here. Before going into that, into further questions, I just want to introduce to the audience our audience roundtable veteran and our very own Siddhant Bhagatala. Before going into the interview, Partha, so I had something special intro planned for you, but you kind of we went somewhere else. So first of all, bhai, namaskar. केमती आछो तामे
मु बहुत भलो अछि तमे केमिति अछ
बढ़िया अछि
अरे ग्रेट थैंक यू सो मच
मूवी रा को
इवन आई डोंट नो दिस मच
मूवी रा खूब अभिनंदन
थैंक यू बहुत धन्यवाद
thank you that's all the Odia that I knew
that's great but thank you so much I would say like that's a most sweetest welcome that I could have received with your team and with your page, and I'm really happy and grateful.
Thank you, brother. I mean, this is what is needed across industries, like the brotherhood between the industries. This is what we need coming forward, because and I saw the trailer of your film, and let me tell you, it's nothing short of Siddhant was talking about the budgets and all, but it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that at all. It was so beautiful to watch. The trailer, the color grading, everything looks pitch perfect. So first of all, I would wish you all the best for that film. So tell me, before going into the interview, I just wanted to know about Odia cinema a little bit. The reason is, see, I might have researched, and I mean, I came here. I know Mr. Mohanty, who is an Odia star. I mean, because we're all film buffs, we know. But for the audience who are watching our interview, they need to know more about industry. So talk about a little, because we're literally we're unaware of it. So yeah, please.
Definitely, we are the reason to. I mean, we have ourselves to blame and no one else to blame for this. Odia film industry is an 87-year-old industry. I mean, if you'd be surprised to know that our first Odia film, and yesterday was the birth anniversary of Odia cinema. There was a movie called Sita Bivah, which was made released in the year 1936. So our industry is literally 87 years old. I think it is 1 year older than the Telugu film industry. But unfortunately, we could not make a name for ourselves, which we had. In fact, when I remember when I was a kid, educated Odia people, the middle class Odia audience, they used to watch Odia cinema in theaters, because in 70s and 80s were the golden period of Odia cinema, where we had some great directors like Nirodh Mahapatra, Manmohan Mahapatra, Prashant Nanda. There was one Odia film that was made into a Hindi film also. There was a movie called Naya, which was a remake of an Odia film called Sesha Shravana, which is a legendary film of Odia cinema. And there have been some really beautiful films during 70s and 80s. And after that, I would say from 90s onwards, there was a dearth in the quality and creativity. There were some makers who came and started doing remakes, which was fine, because in 90s also there were some good remakes. Like they used to adapt the story according to Odia culture, and there was a lot of efforts that went into those remakes. From 2000 onwards, actually, Odia movie has been on a decline. For last 22 years, we have been creating like crap stuff. Honestly, I mean, I as an Odia have been ashamed of those stuff. Hardly, I mean, within those 25 years, hardly there were some rebellious filmmakers who could make 4 or 5. Say you can count on your fingertips how many good films were there. So they were like, most of them were like frame to frame, substandard, cheap, cringeworthy copy paste of other regional language movies or some Hindi films also. And when people started reacting to it, finally, thanks to social media, there's one, like, yeah, sometimes scrolling helps, and the continuous trolling and abuses that people shared, and I would say that was required. We needed that jolt, and we needed that what do you say, that that electric shock.
Jolt.
We needed a shock. So that was very important for the filthy cinema illiterate people who were like actually ruling the film, the industry or fraternity through sycophancy. The entire system was running on sycophancy. Neither good subjects were created. There was no hard work on the scripting, the screenplay, the pre-production. There was no pre-production at all, and the quality of films are horrible. Even if there was a time when we had budgets of 2.5, 3, 4 crores budget, but nothing happened. I mean, you would see those films, you'll feel like they've made some 30, 40 lakh movies. You give it to a sensible director, he will make it look like a grand 50 crore film. So now that's the thing what is happening. I mean, I think sometimes adversity helps. So I would say thanks to these young independent filmmakers, the educated ones who have exposure, they have walked outside, they have seen, they have knowledge of world cinema, they are updated, and I would say upgraded people about cinema who have knowledge of cinema aesthetics and most importantly cinema logistics. So that is the reason why there has been a transformation in Odia cinema for last 2 years. And fortunately, since last year, there was a movie called Daman, and then a movie called Pratiksha happened, which people loved a lot. And those movies were appreciated by people outside Odisha too. And thanks to that, we have started dreaming again. And next will be Phalguna Chaitra, which has created a lot of hype within the state. Outside the state also, for especially for Odia people who are staying outside and who have been suffering from an identity crisis. For example, a lot of Odia staying in Bangalore and Hyderabad. When they watch Odia films, they speak about it. They have shared their views and the disappointments through social media also. That when we watch other regional language movies, they're so grand, so beautiful, and they're making such good content. Why can't we do the same? I mean, if you see budget-wise, Malayali industries has a very similar budget to ours. Look at what the kind of content that they create. Why can't we do the same? So that was a big question mark. Our ability.
In fact, there was a joke. I think Biswapati Sarkar mentioned this one. You know Biswapati Sarkar, right? He is the TVF guy.
TV.
TV. So
TV.
he said, like there are only three people famous from Odisha: Sona Mahapatra, Vishwapati Kalyan, and this guy, this Vishwapati Sarkar. So, in fact, this is a trend. I want to understand two things here. One is that in Telugu, one of the most popular character artists is Jishu Sen Gupta, who is a star in Bengali industry. Correct. So we are getting, even in Dasara also, there is a Malayalam actor, Shine Tom Chaitra. We got from Malayalam industry. So each time, we being regional industries, we Telugu, Tamil, Malayalam, or Kannada, we get actors from other industries. So one question here is, why haven't Odia actors like Odia star, one of Mr. Anubhav Mohanty, Abhinav Mohanty, I forgot her name, Mr. Mohanty. Anubhav Mohanty. So, like stars like him, why haven't they, did that? What do you call? Come to other industries and spread his name. This is one question, and the other one is that it's a follow up on that. One of the reasons, why like Telugu film is complete like Rajamouli says, it's completely audience based. We know how to make popular cinema because we are the audience. So I want to understand how Odia audience are like. What do they expect from their stars? So these are the two questions that I wanted to ask. Please go ahead.
See, the thing is that Odia people, they have been, as I mentioned, that a lot of Odia people, they share their displeasure. As I think a few minutes back, I mentioned that it didn't happen through just normal trolls. There were abuses. There were literal abuses from audience that we are pissed off with the kind of cinema that you're making. We are going through an identity crisis. Look at other regional languages, and we feel ashamed of calling ourselves Odia outside Odisha, because the kind of films we can't. These are the kind of films that we can never show it to our non-Odia friends, like people from Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, or Tamil Nadu, Kerala. We cannot show those type of films to them because we will feel ashamed of ourselves. But fortunately, that has been a reason why there has been a slight change. Like we got that shock, and some of the young producers, they came and they started supporting some independent filmmakers, and we started making films with very low budget, just to prove our point that yes, we can do quality stuff. Because we have knowledge of cinema logistics. You give us a budget of, say, a very small budget of 30-40 lakhs. We'll create a story which will fit in that budget. We will not think of a Bahubali within that budget. So that's the reason. That's how we started making quality films. The thing with Odia cinema, why it went down, was that, for example, they tried to copy paste a film
regional
from
say
Tamil industry or Telugu industry, a 50 crore film, and they will try to do it within 50 lakhs. Can you imagine? Can they, in their dreams, also match that with the grandeur? It's practically impossible. So what these young literate filmmakers or creative guys, what they did is that we say we have a budget of 50 lakhs. So we will create a story which we can present at the best way within 50 lakhs. We will create a story which doesn't have much locations, doesn't have much actors. We will focus on the screenplay. We will try our best not to compromise on the technical aspects of the film. For example, visually how it looks, not compromise on the camera, take a good DOP, and on the sound quality, and the technicians do not compromise on that. Take a good story and try to create your best possible product within that budget. And that's how the change started. We did a film called Chaitra, which could not come to theaters because of the COVID situation. It released on television, but it was appreciated by a lot of people. I think I had sent the link of Charitra's trailer and some songs to Sid. He must have seen those. That film was a revolution. That was the first revolution that started within Odia cinema. And after that, there was another movie called Rati Sori Sori Jauchi, again, which could not make to the theaters, but that was also a very qualitative film. And after that, after a gap of 1.5 years, like there was a very independent film called Adyu Godad, which won at a lot of big international festivals, and that movie released, and a lot of educated
a game changer indeed. Yeah. That was a game changer.
So, I would say that commercially it was not a big game changer. The big game changer was Daman. After that, another movie came, Daman, which was a very original concept, very noble concept, based on the rural belt of Odisha. The kind of adversity the doctors walked there, and the story was based on that and malaria especially.
Yes.
Oh wow!
That film created a big revolution commercially. So after that, people started like realizing that yes, we can do something creative and we can do something new. And that is the reason why people are not watching, because we have been cliched and doing formulaic stuff since ages. So let's do something new. Still, I mean, I would say that 80% of the movies that are being made here are cheap copy paste, substandard copy paste movies, very cheap quality and very badly made. But still, I would say it's a progress. Earlier, there was hardly 5% of people who used to make quality cinema. Now it has increased to almost 20%, 15, 20%. I'm sure in the coming days, it will keep increasing. So after Phalguna Chaitra, there are another two movies that I'm impressed on, and I think they are very qualitative films. I've seen the teasers, so they will do good. I'm very sure about that. So I'm sure these movies will be the change of Odia cinema, and after that, there will be people who will come and start investing in Odia cinema and can make qualitative products which can be at par with level, and can be spoken of with respect and some credibility.
Is it the reason why Odia industry actors are not transferring into other industries?
Exactly, because right now we do not have that credibility. If you're talking about Jishu Sengupta, he has been working in the Hindi film industry also. He has been doing some good roles in the Hindi film industry. So that's how he became popular. I have seen that what the South industry basically they do is that they take good actors from the Hindi film industry who are not doing main leading roles. So they bring the South fraternity and they experiment with those characters.
Sonu Sood is one of such guys. Sonu
Sood was the product of that. There were many others. There are many examples of. So that's how I.
Just to give you some sort of reassurance, I'd proudly show an Anthony to a non-Odia friend of mine. I would proudly show a 4 to a non-Odia friend of mine. I would proudly show a boffin to a non-Odia friend of mine. I would proudly show a navigator to a non-Odia friend of mine, because I think I understand. Being an independent filmmaker, I understand the kind of freedom that an independent artist especially seeks, and the independence is really reflective in these pieces of art that I have come across. At least these pieces of art that include you or involve you with them. And I'm really excited to watch Phalguna Chaitra. I mean, I've really loved the teaser.
Phalguna Chaitra, I would say that a commercial leap of these products, whatever you saw, it's a commercial leap into a cinema that can be well made, very classily made. The audiovisual aesthetics in place and beautifully made, but still it will cater to a mass audience, a family audience. And we are also excited about that, because that will bring in some power, some balance, and some stability to the sycophantic system that has been going on here in Odia cinema. So once that happens, there will be a balance in power, and at least the creative filmmakers, they will have a say, they will have a voice. So that is very important. Sometimes I think what Anurag Kashyap also said, and he realized later that financial part is also very important, because that will give you the freedom to more experimental subjects, more creative subjects. Nobody will interfere within your storytelling, and as long as you don't do that, do not prove that, there will be a lot of interference. That is the reason why I think it's a very important film for everyone associated with Phalguna Chaitra and the Odia film industry also, because there will be after that people will start.
And we could sort of gauge that with the teaser and the trailer of the film, because when I watched the teaser, the sort of impression that the teaser gave me was, here is a very poetic film. I had messaged you. Regarding this.
I remember that.
One of the most. I think it's going to be one of the most poetically made films, for lack of a better word. It's going to be one of the most poetically made films out of Odia cinema, is what I felt. But when I watched the trailer, I was actually taken aback. And I was like, I take back my words, because I think it's a beautiful blend of not just poetry, but I think there are other elements in the film that are very, very, very saleable, and rightfully so. I mean, every story deserves to be not just told, but also sold. I mean,
I know when people say that we have made this film for entertainment, I always believe, but why can't entertainment can be sensibly and sensitively made.
Absolutely.
You can tell a very sensible and sensitive story and yet entertain the people. Like there are many examples. Be it Dangal, like the largest commercial success of Indian cinema. Be it Badhai. Three Idiots. Be it Tanuved's Manu Returns. Be it Vikram. Even Vikram, an action thriller. Wow, beautifully it was made. I will not give examples of. I mean, no offense to anyone, RRR or KGF. But Vikram is a brilliant example of great filmmaking, brilliant acting, brilliant screenplay, yet a fantastically made film and very sensible and sensitive also in terms of how they portray their emotions.
Absolutely.
So, yes. Now I'll shift the topic to Phalguna Chaitra.
Yeah, sure.
So
I've already shifted it, so you can.
I can pick it up. Yes, pick it up. So, tell me, Partha, like, okay, before I go into the film, let me discuss the business aspect of it. Of course, it's releasing in overseas, like you said, Australia, Malaysia, Germany, and other things. Do you? I mean, because यार ट्रेलर देख के थोड़ा पता चल जाता है यार हिट फिल्म है नहीं हिट फिल्म नहीं है थोड़ा पता चल जाता है तो इतना तो सेंसिबिलिटी आ ही जाती है इतने सारे फिल्मों में देखने के बाद सो व्हाट आई एम सेइंग is there a possibility that this film will be dubbed into other languages? Are you looking at those possibilities as well?
Exactly. The initial plan is to we are releasing it across Odisha, and outside Odisha it will release in Bangalore, Hyderabad, Mumbai, and Chennai. We will see the audience response and wait for a week. And if it continues word of mouth till 2-3 weeks, and we see that the response is good and we generate some revenue, then we have a plan to release it in other languages. We'll dub it in Hindi and maybe some other languages, and we will release it at a pan-Indian level. So that's also that's a
really because
idea we are contemplating. I mean, like
I am looking at pan-India scope of an Odia film because sounding of the sentence that I used, that also sounds very nice.
See, we watch other language films with subtitles here. We watch Marathi cinema, we watch Bengali cinema, we watch Telugu, Tamil, Kannada, Malayali cinema with subtitles. So I also want that our films reach such level and such quality that people from the other industries, bigger industries, they also watch Odia films with subtitles. That would be a dream come true for me.
Yes, I wish you all the best on that.
And Aryan, if there's anyone, and I'm not trying to flatter Partha here, but if there's anyone who can put Odia cinema on the map, it is Partha Sarathy. I'm not flattering you, Partha, but it comes from a very genuine space. Of course, you're a friend. I love you. There's so much admiration for you, but at the end of the day, I'm proud of the resolution. I'm really proud of the resilience that you had all throughout, and especially in an industry which is not very content friendly, an industry which relies on a lot of borrowed perspectives. It's very difficult to sustain and have your own voice and stay relevant and stay in the game and still sort of battle the tricks of the trade. And you're doing it, and you're doing it so gracefully.
You know, one important
and the most difficult part was that being very straightforward, I have rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, which was not intentional. I never had any grudge on anyone. It was like constructive criticism, or you can say feedback, which was very important for our industry because we were not going anywhere. It was like within the fraternity, what they used to do is that the law or the system was ki, you promote my bad film, I will say wow to your bad film. It was like that, like licking each other. So you cannot progress with that.
Back and I'll scratch your back.
I know, like someone had to bell the cat, and I have naturally been like that. I've always been straightforward. I put across my point without insulting or humiliating or trying to bring down anyone. I just put across my point very firmly. I know it has been very tough financially also, and in terms of in terms of creating work also, because nothing was happening. So before proving anything, it was very tough to explain people that this is the idea that I have, this is the vision that I have. As I mentioned, that when I took those project reports and showed it to people, showed it to producers, that yes, we have to think of expansion and we have to think of quality, and that is the only way we can reach outside Odisha and outside India. They used to laugh at me. They used to make fun of me. They used to think that I'm mad, or some people also thought that I'm very arrogant or I'm being very extra ambitious, which is not true. I think that if other industries can do that, why can't we do? We don't have a dearth of talent here. You would be surprised to know that in the Hindi mainstream industry, most of the technicians, especially the sound department, the editing department, and cinematography department, you will find maximum Odias over there. They're all from the Film Institute from Odisha,
The Biju Patnaik.
like FTII equivalent of Odisha. Most of them are pass outs from there, and they are doing great work in the Hindi film industry. So if these guys can do, we have those talent. It's not that we don't have that kind of technicians. It's all about the vision and conviction also, and you have to be you have to be creative, and you have to be resilient, as you mentioned, that you have to be that. Like otherwise, it's not possible. So I know, and thanks to, like, I manifested this, so I came across like-minded people with the same school of thought. That's how we connected, and that's how the change started. There were other people who also joined in, and with the same kind of dream, we joined in, and we created this thing. So I'm really happy. Like, of course, I'm proud. I feel great, and thanks to the blessings of the Almighty, and of course the people of Odisha who have been instrumental in this, because their love and affection and their love for quality and their demand for quality made it possible. Otherwise, maybe
and Aryan and I, we are gonna catch Phalguna Chaitra on day 1, and we are going to drop a constructive feedback as always. I do that, but Aryan is also going to be a new entrant into our constructive feedback.
Yeah, definitely.
The list of theaters will be out soon. The censorship is going on progress. Once that's out, we'll get a list of theaters, and after that, I will update and I'll inform everyone.
Super.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
So,
Aryan, you can continue with your question. I'm so sorry.
So,
thank you.
What do you call it? Talk about the film, Partha. I mean, we know we have seen the trailer, but it is about a family. And see, one interesting part is there are the names of 2 months are there, Phalguna and Chaitra. One where leaves fall, and the other one, the other month wherein new leaves come up. So it's a strange title. I mean, very open to interpretation. So what should we expect from it?
See, the basic idea came from, as I mentioned, that a lot of Odia people were complaining that in Odia films we are not able to see any Odia culture. Like we watch a Tamil film or a Malayali film or a Marathi film, we see their geographical ambience, their food culture, how they wear clothes, how they celebrate their festivals, the local folk dances also, and the traditional dances also, how they inculcate everything within their story and within their script. Our first main idea was that how to tell a good story and inculcate these things without being preachy about it. It should merge within the story and yet be beautiful and presentable. That was the first idea which created this idea. And in the month of Phalguna Chaitra, and this film is based around those 2 months, as we have shown the relevance of these 2 months, and the food, even the food, the kind of food that we eat during that time, the kind of festivals that we have, we have to present everything within those 2 months, and that's how it carries the relevance.
Man, drink some water, man. That had happened. I know you're like, you're very passionate. Drink some water.
Please have some water.
Yeah.
So that's how it has.
Interesting.
That was the core idea, and yes, there are some twists and turns in the movies, but basically, I would say it's a journey of the characters in the film. It's a journey of characters, their bonding, the relationships, be it romantic, be it a relationship of a grandfather and his granddaughter. It's a relationship of the house, that vintage house that you see in the movie trailer and teaser. That is like a character in the film, and that's very relevant to the film,
to the narrative.
That house is 180 years old.
In reality,
that is 180 years old. Wow. It was made during the British rule.
Wow. I think you should put this out, Partha. Like, you should put all of this out once the film sees the light of the day. Yes. I think all of this should come out. People need to know. People need to know that you've tapped that cultural aesthetic. You've gone into that vintage side with the vintage space of Orissa, and you've actually explored nostalgia in its truest sense. I think the film is loaded with nostalgia. I could feel that. It
Yes,
hit
yes.
me.
And,
It hit me.
there's this song, Smruti Bunijaya Jibano, which has been
Yes.
creating that hype. That the song that you heard in the teaser, that has been created by Jerry Sylvester Vincent, who's a very close associate, and he has done the orchestra for PS1 and PS2. Pony Sylvan 1 and
Whoa.
2, he is
Yeah.
the guy who did the
Yeah.
orchestra. He has done now
Wow.
background music, and he has composed that song.
Interesting.
Wow.
Partha, yeah. It's
What do you
very,
call
very
it?
interesting. Partha. So yeah, Sid, you had something to ask Partha. I would.
Yeah, I had a couple of very curious questions. I mean, I've never asked this. I've never asked this, father. Like I've never.
Yeah.
So okay. So this is one question that Aryan usually asks during his sessions, during his talk
Yes.
show, but he missed it out this time.
Yeah,
Partha,
please.
Yeah.
why do you do
Why
what
do you
you
do
do?
what you
Like,
do? Yeah.
I mean, I mean, it's been more than a decade now. It's been a
Huh,
decade and a half.
huh.
You're one of the most well-read individuals that I've come across, and you read a lot. You are such a well-spoken gentleman. You could have been anywhere in life, right? Like if given an opportunity, we all could have been anywhere in life. I understand. I know the answer. I know what keeps us going. But then, if there is anything else that you'd like to add and elaborate and sort of give us an insight onto why you forayed into this
Cinema.
space or this journey. Yes, I mean, what keeps you going? I mean, you're battling out criticism, you're battling out something that is not very constructive. You're living in a fraternity that is yet to become organized, and there's yet a structure that needs to fall in place. What I mean, there's so much of chaos, right? Like
What are
I
you
I, I
getting out
I
of it?
understand.
What are you getting out of it?
Yes, and then you go with the project reports. Like every day, every morning, you have to take that call. You have to take that call. कि मुझे पता है कि 90% ये नहीं होने वाला है. You know that. Your heart knows it, but there's something that just pushes you. What jostles you is what I need to do. And why do you do what you do? Why the insanity?
As a person of cinema, you also know it very well that I have been inspired by cinema. So
Absolutely,
there are three
absolutely.
things that I would mention, and that would summarize the kind of person I am.
Yeah,
First is that I don't know if you have seen Chak De India.
yeah. Of
I'm sure
course, of
every
course. We all have. The entire country has.
So there's a line in the film that मैं ताकत नहीं नियत ढूंढ रहा हूँ. That has been the motto of my
Lovely.
life. Remember when I was a kid, we used to play gully cricket. There used to be two captains and they used to divide the team. Trust me, I would used to take the weaker guys who wanted to play but they were not getting opportunities. I would pick those people and try to talk them into winning. And trust me, 8 times out of 10 times I used to win.
Wow.
So that was the first way I had this team building and this character building of mine thing happening. And the next is Three Idiots. That is another thing that I've always believed in, that you always run after excellence, not success.
Absolutely.
Because success, though, like as they mentioned, that just because your work became viral doesn't mean it's good. The voice of majority is no proof of justice. So just because you went like this popular for some time doesn't mean it's quality. So always associate yourself with quality, and the everything else will follow. So that has been another thing. And as you mentioned, that 90% of the times I used to fail, I used to get rejected, but still those 10% thing was there. There's another all-time favorite movie of mine called Shawshank Redemption. There's a line in the movie: "Fear can hold you prisoner. Hope can set you free." So hope has been my catchword. So that led to everything else. As they say that जिंदगी है तो ख्वाब है तो मंजिलें हैं तो रास्ते हैं तो फासले हैं तो as it leads to like मुश्किलें तो हौसला है तो विश्वास है कि फाइटर हमेशा जीतता है. So that thing for me that has always kept me pushing. I mean, I've been through a lot of things. I've been through personal disturbance. I've been through depression. I have broken my jaw. I have broken my back. I'm still I have a broken tailbone and my L5 is dislocated, but still I would love to do an action film. I know I will do it. I can do it. So everything else pushes me that मरना तो एक दिन है ही भाई. तो जिंदगी जितनी बड़ी हो उतना मायने रखता है, लंबी नहीं चाहिए मुझे.
मलाल जितने कम हो उतना बेहतर
Exactly.
है.
Malal jitne kam.
Exactly.
हाँ,
And hope is a
yes,
good thing, right?
Hope
In
is a
fact,
good
it's
thing.
the
It's the
best of
most
all the
beautiful of
things.
things.
Yeah,
yes.
and no good thing ever dies. So yeah.
Exactly. No good thing ever dies. So that's how it happened. So it took me 9 years in Odia industry. I have been working very hard in other places also. I have done a lot of other things also to sustain myself and walk towards my dream.
Yeah.
So
One thing is that very easily you could have gone to Hindi cinema. Very easily.
yes, I went
Because
there, but the kind of thing is that when I was working there, I remember the casting system was not very organized, and the kind of
Mhm.
roles I was offered, I used to tell them, take my audition. I want to work on merit. It's not that you are doing me a favor. But
Mhm.
I don't know. At that time, the casting system was totally not organized, and you need to have those
Mhm.
contacts and some kind of reference going on. It's not that it was not happening at all. It was happening, but again, I mean, to reach the right place at the right time was also very important. I saw that that was
Mhm.
not happening. The kind of roles that I wanted to do was not happening in the Hindi film industry, and there was a pressure from my home also to come back home and do something there. So I went back, and when I saw the film
Mhm.
scenarios, like I remember my first two movies, those were also original screenplays when 99% of the movies were cheap substandard copy paste. I remember I have been thrown out of films by asking for scripts also.
For bomb scripts.
Just by
Yeah,
Ah,
yeah,
mere
yeah.
asking for
I got it.
scripts, I've been thrown out of films, and I've spoken about originality, and I've spoken about why Odia market is not feasible for remakes. Still, a lot of
mhm.
people did not appreciate that, and as I mentioned, a lot of people were rubbed in the wrong way, which
Yeah.
was not my intention, but it happened, and that's how I missed out on a lot of work in between. But that middle phase was the most difficult phase of my life, where I had to convince myself that my dream is alive. Shall
Mhm.
I continue? There were like other distractions also. There were other lucrative distractions, I would say. They were there. There was pressure
Mhm.
from everyone, from family, peer, everyone. Like, but still, I don't know. I mean, I used to breathe cinema,
Keep
so I
going.
just could
Just,
not give
just,
up on it.
just keep going. Keep going.
Yeah.
It's very inspiring journey because
Yeah.
from I mean it's not an industry we hear much about, and you're still working in it. You're continue. I mean, see, there is a difference. When you work for yourself, probably you'll achieve some things. But when you're working for some an idea and an industry completely to uplift an entire culture. You have taken the burden of the entire culture on your back. So if you are uplifting that, the intention will itself take care of your
Yeah,
success.
I think that has helped me a lot. Maybe my intentions were pure. That's the reason why
Yes,
the entire universe is conspiring to help me
absolutely.
achieve that.
Yes,
And
Yeah.
of course, this beautiful team members who are also instrumental in making this
yes.
possible. So thanks, hats off to them, and thanks to their perseverance and hard work
Super,
also, it has been
super.
possible. So, and of course, the
So,
people of the audience of Odisha who also wanted that Odia films should reach that level, and they should also feel proud of Odia movies and Odia culture,
mhm.
which they can represent through their cinema. They can take it to the non-Odia fraternity also, like we as Odias watch other regional language movies. So I hope, and this is a big desire, that everyone else from outside Odisha should also watch Odia cinema, and they should appreciate our cinema. And I'm sure it will happen.
Super, super,
And I
super
think it's just
partner.
a matter of time, Pata, because the
It's
lines
Absolutely.
are
just a matter
clearly
of
blurring
time.
out.
Yes,
With
yes,
Yeah,
passage of each day, I
absolutely.
think the lines are blurring out. So I had two
exactly.
follow-up questions, Aryan. Two quick follow-up
Yes,
questions that I had.
yes,
Yeah.
please do.
If
Yes.
you allow me
And
to, is it okay?
yeah, please do. And we'll close the interview. We are given a certain amount of time, and I have to close it
Yeah,
fast.
yeah,
So
yeah.
please go ahead with those questions.
Sure, sure. So, Pata, like you've always mentioned that actors, like your favorite passion quote is actors are not entertainers,
Healers.
but actors are healers.
Not
So,
mere entertainers, they are
yes,
healers.
Yes.
they're healers,
Hmm.
not just entertainers, but
Just
they're also,
entertainers.
they're healers,
Healers.
and most part of
Very.
it is the healing part. So that
Exactly.
applies for every storyteller. In fact, if
Exactly.
every storyteller should have like not that he should have it or she should have it, but there needs to be a certain conscience that has to be involved when you're creating a work of art, which tries to make another individual a better human being after he finishes watching your piece of art. So, can you provide me an example of sorts and tell me how did you heal people out of your performances, or has that ever happened, Partha? Like, has that hit you? Because it has hit me. There have been instances wherein I had messages, one from you. You've actually written this long a review, which I'll always store. So has that happened to
That's
you?
a great question.
Like, yeah, yeah. Has that happened to you? Like, have you felt like a healer? That is more important. I
I
understand
got
it is
many
your favorite passion
messages.
sport.
I
I
had
understand it's your, yeah, yeah, yeah. But have you actually felt that? Has the theory turned into practice for you already, or are you
yeah, a
waiting for
lot
the
of
day?
people have messaged me that I feel good about it when I get messages like people, they say that they could relate with my work, the kind of things that I've done. For example, the work in Boffin, uh, the kind of school of thought that character was, which is also very similar to mine. A lot of people tell me that this is what we want to speak out, but we are not able to because we are afraid. And through your
Yeah.
cinema you have spoken that, through your interviews you have done that, so we feel very connected to you. A lot of young guys say that you are our inspiration, we want to be like you, we aspire to be do cinema, the kind of stories that you tell, we want to be a part of those kind of stories. So that has happened to me. I've got many messages. For example, in Charitra, I remember there were many women who wanted that they wanted a husband like me, like the kind of husband I was in that movie. So they wanted a
Aspirational,
husband
yeah,
that
yeah.
the kind of the way he looked into his wife's eyes, and that was very healing for them. They found like it very soothing, and they have watched. A lot of people told me that there was a particular song, Muaji Premikov. They say that they have watched it an nth number of times. Some people have 100, 200 times, 250 times. They have watched it in loop. Some people have watched it in loop for many times. They get some kind of healing out of those
Yeah.
expressions that I have given. So I have received those kind of messages, and I feel overwhelmed and like very grateful. Like I have been able to do at least 1% of what I had aspired to be, or what I had thought of achieving. So I am sure with time there will be more such characters where I do that, and
As
people connect with
actors,
me on a
Partha.
spiritual level.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
as actors, as writers, यही कमाते हैं हम.
exactly,
This is what we achieve. That's it.
exactly, because as actors, freelancers, we know, I mean, how we work under so many constraints. Even the financial aspect of it, sometimes
Right.
it's like you have to work for peanuts.
Huh.
It's tough to sustain yourself in that kind of an environment.
Peanuts. You're
Within
saying
that,
you're saying peanuts free.
yeah, that
There have
also
been
happens
instances where
sometimes.
pro bono is just pro bono is the going for
Yeah.
freelancing,
Yeah.
creative
Yes,
freelancing at least a
right,
lot.
right, right.
So when an individual feels connected to you, you are a performer. But when the same individual feels represented by you, you become a healer. You
Exactly,
turn into a healer. So that is the thin line, right? That
exactly,
we
exactly,
as
exactly.
storytellers need to crack. Yeah,
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
lovely, lovely. Never thought of it. Never thought of it. It was always there. The passion code was always there in the back of my mind. I always wanted to ask it so that I could let my curiosity out. I did that. Yeah,
Thank
I'm
you so
glad.
much.
Super. Super. So thank you guys. Thank you both for joining.
Thank you so much.
And
Thank you so much, Aryan and Sid.
Partha, a
Thank you,
huge.
Bada. Thank you so much. I'm glad. I'm
I
glad that
hope
I could.
the when it releases in Hyderabad, uh, I'm very hopeful that you both will like it, and I
Yeah,
also hope that community that you have, they also like it, and they kind of
Sure,
give their
sure,
constructive feedback or criticism,
sure.
whatever it is, what they liked
Definitely.
about the movie, what they did not like about the movie, so that it will help us
mm,
in the future. And of course, I'm hopeful that a lot of people watch the film, and
yeah.
they show their love towards us. So it has been
Super.
an honest attempt for our entire team, from our entire team. So
Super.
we hope it
Best
So,
wishes to
guys.
the female protagonists of the film. I mean,
Exactly. I'll just
Vaishali
convey
and
the message to them. They're nearby.
yes, sure,
please, yeah,
certainly.
yeah, they're just next door. So
Yeah.
I hope we have a constructive post mortem of the
Exactly.
film. Now, post mortem is a
Exactly.
very long term. I'm so sorry. I don't want to sound
And
cynical.
that's also fine. I mean, that is also absolutely fine.
A positive post mortem of the film.
Exactly.
I
Exactly.
think there'll be a lot more metaphors, figuratives, allegories to talk about. A lot of other
Exactly.
technical aspects of the film to talk about, because I think the title itself was. I mean, it just astounded me, like the kind of
On two
titular
months of
decisions that
the Indian
directors took.
2 months of the Indian calendar, and I think
Right.
Phalguna Chaitra is something that anyone who knows their own language also, their known
Yeah,
own months
yeah.
also, because these are the same everywhere.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Phalguna
these are
Chaitra,
similar.
Vasant,
Yes.
Shravan, Ashwina, Bhadrav, they're all same everywhere. So
Right.
Absolutely.
people will
It's just
connect with that. So
it's just that it's phonetically pronounced as Phalguna Chaitra.
yeah, it's
But
pronounced
it's just
differently.
pronounced differently.
Differently. Yeah.
Lovely.
Thank you so much, Aryan and Sid. Thanks a lot.
Yes.
Thank you,
For the
Partha.
time. Thanks for organizing this. Yeah.
Yeah,
It was a
lovely,
pleasure
lovely.
talking to you and
Always a pleasure.
interacting
Right.
intellectually on good things. Like very seldom as an actor, the kind of interviews that we attend, very seldom that we get such creative and constructive questions which can help cinema. So it's very rare. So I'm very happy and glad.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Lovely to have caught up like this, Partha. Like, I hope next time it will be in a different capacity. Fingers crossed. I hope we collaborate soon.
Definitely.
Let's hope. I just hope we have a visit to Hyderabad if it's possible.
Yeah.
Let's see where we're contemplating the possibilities. So let's see.
Lovely. But is your ticket to Melbourne booked yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. Are you contemplating on visiting Melbourne? Like, is it on the cards? Is it there?
It will happen in case like we have 3 shows right now. 2 of them had already been sold out. We will see the response first, how they like it, and then we will plan. And if it goes beyond 1 week, then we definitely will visit.
Super.
Lovely, Partha. Lovely.
Plan. So let's see. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, wish the best for the entire.
So let me close this interview.
Sure.
So Partha, can you give us the release date to our audience, and so that
Phalguna Chaitra is releasing on 12th of May 2023 in Odisha, in theaters across Odisha, and in Bangalore, Mumbai, Hyderabad, and Chennai.
Yes.
So
super.
Lovely people of all these beautiful places. Please can spare some time and watch the movie.
Yeah.
We would be really grateful for with your love and care and affection. Thank you so much.
Some people from the Teddy community are already going to watch it for sure.
Yes,
you have my
definitely.
Thanks a lot.
So, audience, Phalguna Chaitra is coming soon to Hyderabad. So, catch it up in your nearest theaters. So, thank you for watching, audience. Also, please like and share and subscribe our channel. We have viewers who are, a lot of members are non-subscribers. So, please do subscribe, and it helps us a lot. Thank you for watching. This is Aryan signing off.
Thank you.